All right, y'all, welcome back to Philly D's Garage. So today we got the Cadillac CTS-V in the building. So apparently I was doing like 1 billion miles an hour, and I blew off this thermostat bypass hose. Yeah, so it was kind of catastrophic. So I was on the highway and everything just was smoked up, and I didn't know what was going on. So I popped the hood and I seen that this blew off. Now the belt also came off. I don't know if y'all can tell, but yeah, we got a little bit of catastrophe in here going on. So the belt popped off and this coolant hose popped off. And there should be a nipple here. So as y'all can see, this nipple is stuck inside of here. So I gotta try to get this nipple out and get a new thermostat housing and get a belt, SuperCharger belt. Now it's crazy because I changed the regular serpentine belt like 7 or 8 months ago, and the SuperCharger belt was fine. So at first I was kind of like trying to figure out why the SuperCharger belt popped off like that, and I was spinning all the pulleys, the SuperCharger pulley, these idler pulleys, everything spent. And I started thinking like, okay, the belt probably popped off because the coolant got in there, because the SuperCharger belt was brand new. So as I was I'm trying to figure out if I should you know, change the SuperCharger belt and its tensioner, because usually when you change your belts you want to change the tensioner along with it. But I think the belt literally only came off because of the coolant. It had to. So, because I was driving the car for a long time and never had issues with the belt. Like I said, the belt was brand new. So, yeah, today's video is going to be about changing the thermostat, changing the SuperCharger belt, and I may change the SuperCharger tensioner. Only thing I removed was the intake that sits here. So I can give y'all a good picture of what's going on. So let me get this cleaned up a little bit and we could get started. All right, y'all. So what I did was I got most of all the belt residue cleaned up. Might still be a few pieces down there, but hopefully they'll fly out somehow while I'm driving. So now, for any odd reason, if your belt gets wrapped around your crank pulley like mine did, you can just take a razor like this and cut the belt off like that, and then use a ratchet like this to spin your rotate the engine around so you can peel the belt off all the way around. So that's how I got the rest of that belt off. Here's a carnage of all of that. Yep, look at that. Yep. That belt is done. So I got the belt off. Now what I did to get this that tube out, I used a mixture of things. I used my snap-on little it's like molded plastic picks, and I kind of broke a couple of them, and then I used my vamp pliers here. These things work great, and I used that to pull it out. So we got that out. You don't have to worry about this other side of that piece that broke, because you're going to change this whole thermostat housing with that. So yeah, so the next thing we're going to do is take this clamp off and get these bolts off. All right, so you want to take your pliers, get in there, pull this back. We're gonna wiggle off our hose. You use the same pliers and Try to wiggle that loose. Yeah, just like that. And we're gonna wiggle this guy off. Get your pick. You know, I'm glad I grabbed this just now, because this is what I was using at first to get that, to try to get that out, and it didn't work. So peel this hose off. Just set it to the side. Then we'll get these 10mm bolts off. Don't spin them all the way out, because you don't want to drop the bolts. It's kind of difficult to get up underneath this car. It's kind of difficult, so that's why I want to go up under there to get the rest of the belt, if there's any left. These bolts is kind of long. Hold on. So we got all 3 bolts out. I'm gonna wiggle this off. I don't know if I'm gonna get any coolant out, but I know when this happened, all that coolant was just spraying from out of this tube here. So, but I don't think I lost more than like a gallon of coolant. So I pretty much stopped as soon as I seen the smoke. All right, so, and you got a gasket right here, so you want to take that off. So let me grab the new one real quick. All right, y'all, so let me take you over here to the new one. All right, so this is the new thermostat housing and thermostat. It's a SKP, that's what I went with. SuperCharger belt I'm gonna use is a Continental. I couldn't get the, well, I could have got the one I wanted, more like a performance belt, but they wanted like, I don't know, they wanted like 2 weeks or something for them to ship it to me. Then the coolant I'm going to use is the AC Delco 50/50 premix. Part number is 105027. Or they might go by this number, I don't know. But you want to make sure you put the right coolant back into your car. You don't want to use the wrong stuff. So this new thermostat does come with a new gasket. So make sure you get a gasket with your thermostat. So, and this is the nipple that broke off. So I don't know how that popped off. I mean, I must have really been doing like, I don't know, Mach 3, Mach 10. I don't know. I was going super fast. And it broke off. So hopefully nothing else caused that, but we will find out once we start this car up and get it running. So let's pop that in there. All right, y'all, so got the new thermostat in, got the 3 bolts tightened back down with the new gasket inside of there. Put the hose back onto the nipple. Got this big radiator hose put back on with the clamp. Now, for any odd reason, if you guys go through this situation and can't get this this nipple out, you could cut it, because this hose is pretty flexible, and it has plenty of play with it. So you could get away with that, or you can cut it, and if you want to add holes, you can use like some barbed wire and, you know, extend it if you have to. And then worst case scenario, if you have to change this whole piece, it's just from here to here, and then it goes into here. So it's just a piece, one little harness, coolant hose that you can get. So it's really not a big deal. Now I wanted to show you guys these pliers. The reason why these worked pretty good at getting them out, getting that nipple out, is because if you can see, they got like these are actually bolt extractors, so they're meant to like grab on something really close and tight and extract it out. So these are really good pliers. And I actually think I got a video on these pliers, I think somewhere in my lost YouTube file somewhere. I probably gotta go through and and find it, but stand by for that. But yeah, so the next thing we got to do is throw the supercharger belt on. All right, y'all, so next we're gonna throw the supercharger belt on. So you just want to route it down there, put it around your supercharger first, put it between these two idler pulleys, then wrap it around your crank pulley, and then swing it all the way over to your right. So we get on these pulleys over here. All right, so the belt look like it's on now. Pull it. All right, so now all we gotta do now is grab your ratchet and socket. Let's see if we can get it on there. Of course I can't get it on there, but all right. Let's see if we can slide this in here. I got the camera in the way. Everything's in the way. Let's see. Let me grab a wrench. All right, so once you get your ratchet in place, just swing it back like this. Swing it all the way down and slide your belt over the idler pulley. All right. All right, so the belt is on. All right, we gotta move that over. Now I didn't change the tensioner, y'all. So I couldn't find a tensioner online. I couldn't find a tensioner anywhere. So I am reusing the tensioner that was on it. So all right, so the next thing we're gonna do is fill it up with coolant. All right, y'all, so onto the coolant. So I put my spill-free funnel up here. Now, with the coolant, you got two levels on the coolant reservoir. All right, so with the bottom reservoir, they want that to be pretty much halfway. And then on the top reservoir, you're gonna fill that up. Now, to fill up the bottom reservoir, there's a cap over here. Now on the CTS-Vs, they got this crossbar here, then they got a strut bar here, and it's pretty much in the way of opening up that cap, which is kind of crazy. But luckily, my bottom half of this reservoir I didn't lose any coolant out of there at all, which is kind of crazy. So I don't have to worry about adding any coolant to that reservoir. So we're just going to fill this up. We're going to fill up the this fill speed funnel with the coolant, and we're gonna let it run. All right, y'all, so once y'all get your car filled up with coolant and bled out, you want to come in, you want to make sure you're getting heat. Now I got my scanner here. It's telling me that I'm currently at 195 degrees, and the engine is idling at 580 RPMs, and the car actually been running now for about 51 minutes because these cars actually take a while to warm up. So I actually left and came back. But the procedure for changing the thermostat is pretty much the same for a lot of GM cars with the same engine, Camaros, Corvettes, or whatever, but your gauges may be different inside your cabin depending on what type of car you have. But on my car, on the CTS-Vs, you're gonna come up on here and you can see your coolant gauge here. So you want it pretty close to the middle. I don't know if y'all can see that. But we're around about 195 degrees. I'm gonna show you guys that we are getting good heat, and the car's still at idle right now, so probably once you start driving it'll get a little hotter than that. But you want to make sure you got all the air out, make sure you're getting good heat, and make sure your temperature is up. Check for any leaks. So I'm gonna end it here. If you guys appreciated the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.